stepped through the door and saw the forge, it was just like, seriously, a moth drawn to the flame. I was just like, oh, ooh, I want to do that. I had to make knives no matter what. I can't say that I was like super knife crazy, that, oh, I'd always wanted to make knives, but I can say that I always wanted to do crafts. Always. I was doing woodworking stuff, anything that had to do with creating something from nothing. I love to sew, I love to paint, I love to do just anything creative. And it took a long time for me to figure out what my style was. I still don't know what it is, honestly. I do know things that I really like, curves that I really like. I still do a test on every knife that leaves my shop to make sure that it holds an edge and yet is flexible and it's not going to snap. Without the steel being made properly, you have nothing but something pretty, you know, and it should be function first and then beauty next. But my big thing is they go hand in hand, and there's no reason why you can't have both. I want function, that's obviously my #1 priority, but I want it to be beautiful too. And finally, when people come up to my table, or when people are looking at another knife show at someone else's table, they'll say, ooh, that's an Audra knife. And that's like the greatest honor, is to be known for my work. Everyone that comes down to learn this trait, they're good people. Because people are like, oh my God, you invite people into your house for a week? And it's like, you know, the people that come down to forge at our forge and make a knife, they're good people. They're really good people that are just interested in an art. And we have not had one person ever stay with us that we wish we hadn't. So this is a pretty good deal, I think, for them. They get to learn the art, they get to learn the skill, they get to leave with a knife, and it's tons of fun. I taught my boys how to shoot at a very young age. Heck, they were making knives when they were 4 and 5. I've got articles of them with a stone wheel. Missy, my daughter that just came in earlier, she would turn the crank on the stone wheel. And the boys, I gave them copper because they wanted to forge, but they were 4 and 5. So I drew the line at forging at 4 and 5, but I gave them copper and a railroad tie, and they would hit the copper on that and forge it out into a blade shape, and then they'd go to the stone wheel and Missy would turn it and they would grind. I took the boys up hunting one year, and Gregory got up early in the morning and took a guy from out of state that had come down, a friend of ours, and took him way back in there, about 3 miles up an old trail. And they ended up both getting an elk. 3 miles doesn't sound like very far until you're going from 8,000 to 11,000 in altitude, and it's just elevation, sorry, it was just a little too much for my lungs, so I pretty much quit going on those long hunts. But our friend Al Witzel was camping with us that year, and he had his mules. I walked up there with them with the mules, and we got both elk drug out of there. And when we got back to camp, I took it was actually a horse hoof handled knife that I had made, and used a horse hoof for the handle on it, and gave it to him. And he's like, what's this? And I said, that is you bringing 2 mule up twice, not once, it took 2 trips, and bringing both of those elk down for us. I said, that is me saying thank you. And he was just like, you're kidding me. I said, nope. And he just was bawling. He was crying. He was so excited about getting this Damascus hunting knife that was mine, that I had packed for a couple years, and he knew that I had packed it for a couple years. So he was pretty excited about that. And he still brags and rants about it.